So it's coming along very slowly, and as you can see, this is what I'm doing with the batteries. I've put some nice gel packs underneath it, and I'll be fastening these in a bit more secure later. And I have very limited tools at the moment, so I've had to not do the most beautiful job when it comes to putting in holes that'll fit the plugs, so that I don't have to pull the Anderson plugs apart again. But I think hopefully that should do the job, and I'll work out what I'm going to do with the rest of this later on, but I'll be fixing this in now. So it's a Thursday, beautiful day in Australia. I've just made it to Queensland, and I met up with my friend last night. We had a bonfire, and that was really cool. Good to see him. He's a good friend of mine from Thailand, and I haven't seen him in a while. And it's freezing last night, got all the way down to 6 degrees. Luckily this van without insulation is actually pretty warm. So here's the battery situation that I have currently, and I mentioned that I got this for free on the side of the road. So we have curbside trash throwout, which happens twice a year, usually in most councils, and so I was able to find this and adjust it a little bit, and obviously this will be a work in progress, but the main thing is that it fits the batteries really well. And I'm going to stabilize this a lot more. I'm going to make it look nice, maybe paint it, put a door across here, that kind of thing. But what I want to do with the top of the old battery block is I want to use this as the interface for all the cables. And I don't know if you can see this here, but it does have, so I can charge my laptop, for example, with the USB-C, high speed, which I think that's 3 amps, which is nice. And then of course a couple of USBs over here, so we've got a 1 amp and a 2.5 amp. So this is all very, very handy to have, and this has a built-in regulator for the 2 solar panels that I have, and that's very useful. So I can actually have both solar panels coming into this here. The cables, not the prettiest thing in the world, coming in through the back there. That's what I managed to set up yesterday. Now this is all fixed in, so it's very solid. It's not going anywhere. But this here, obviously I'm going to need to build this in somehow. So I'm going to probably build a bit of a shelf here, or even just some timber to hold that up, and then separate the bottom part, which will be closed off. This part here will just be maybe, you know, come forward so it's nice and usable. I'm not really sure yet. But I think, yeah, I think this has worked out quite good. And I've got the inverter there as well. It's just a 600 watt, and that's perfect for most of the things that I do. I don't need much more than that at the moment. So yeah, very good, very good. The water situation, I've put this here at the moment, could work up here, but to be honest with you, I prefer to make this into storage. And I think with the water, I don't really like to drive with having water up too high, because you never know if it's going to fall down or have an issue or spill. I have had this fall down once before when I forgot to take it down, but I think it's better just to put that up when I need it and take it down. And usually I'll put it in the doorstep here when I'm driving. Helps with the center of balance as well. And I think otherwise, I think that's a nice way to do it. So this is the location that I've picked to pull over, and I just want to make a small adjustment to my van, finish something that I was meant to finish the other day, didn't get around to it. And the sun's going down, so I've probably only got about an hour to an hour and a half of sun left. So I got a tap here so you can wash your feet. And for some reason, the spade or a shovel that's been tied up, locked for some reason, very strange. But there's no one here. I've got to make a little bit of noise. I've got to cut some timber. So it's good there's no one here that I can annoy. And I'll get on to doing that nice table. There's some art on the table. Some kind of a mosaic fish. That's pretty cool. So yeah. Defibrillator. That's interesting. And the old bike rack, as you do. So the van is here and ready for the adjustments. And the adjustments I'll be doing will be in this area here. And I want to build a bit of a cover for the batteries to keep them in place, so they don't move around, and a little bit better shelving for the battery block head that's on top, and in preparation for what will be a bench across here. So I'm just kind of making this up as I go. It's not necessarily high quality, but I'm able to do it with just a few tools. Most of my tools are still in storage, as I haven't been renovating houses for a while. And just doing the best I can with just a few things. So yeah, anyway, I will get onto this here and I will show you how things go. So I just wanted to show you the tools that I'm using, which is not much, but I just picked up some cheap tools just to get me by to do some of these, so I didn't have to pick up my main tools out of storage. And it's just the circular saw, cheap brand, $100. It's a drill. It kind of has a little bit of an impact. It's an impact drill, not quite an impact driver, which I prefer, and I miss my driver. And a battery, which, you know, it's good when you get the same brand because you can share them. Basic tape measure. I've got a few screwdrivers. There's a few more tools lying around. Phillips head screwdrivers, a few more flatheads, adjustable spanner. I use this here to do things like the carpet. Vice grips, very useful. Obviously a basic hammer, so nothing too expensive, nothing too crazy. And I can use these two collapsible containers to as a bit of a support as I cut these. Well, so this is where we're up to. I had this leftover timber from the old bed frame that I made, and I was able to squeeze this very tightly into this space because I want it as tight as I can. So there's definitely no chance of it falling onto the batteries. And once I level this out a little bit better and screw this in, I'll be able to put the head of the battery block onto this here. And then I'll basically make that a permanent fixture, and above that I'll make a shelf that I can use for charging. So it's going to be pretty simple, it's pretty rudimentary, but I think it'll do the job. The main thing is that the batteries are nice and secure, they're not going to move around too much. That's obviously very important in this kind of situation. And all the cables will reach, and I'll put a little bit of a cover on the front here so it doesn't look so gross. And yeah, so hopefully that'll do the job. So it looks like I've moved in, but I'm just doing a bit of a cleanup. And say hello to Baza. Baza is the basil plant that I picked up so I can make my Thai food. and I started using leaves off it, and then I realized actually it's in a little pot and can be grown. So yeah, who knows, maybe it'll last, maybe I'll use it too fast, maybe it'll grow, who knows. Either way, anyway, so I want to show you how things are going in here, and I think this went quite well yesterday. I didn't do the video yesterday to show you the end result because it was too dark and I was using a lot of lights and it would have been very hard to see. But as you can see, mostly it's pretty good. I need to find a better spot for the inverter. Now there aren't really you know, any kind of brackets or anything for that, so it's a little bit hard for me to bolt that down, but I'm thinking about putting a shelf up here. That's something that I could use, get a better power board with switches on it, bolt that in, and find somewhere better for that. That could go back down where it was, which is in between here, but using the old shelf or, you know, divider for the drawers or whatever this used to be, I've cut this up and I can use this as a bit of a cover for the batteries. But something, I've just put 2 screws in it so I can easily pull this out. Put another piece of timber on here, 35 by 70 millimeter, just to close the gap, because otherwise there'd be a gap in here. Very simple, honestly. And look, today 100 watts coming in. I don't even really need it. My battery's been full for so long, it's just I can't even use it, I can't even keep up. So it turns out that 240 amp hours is plenty for what I need. Yeah, you know, charging my computer, charging the battery for the circular saw and the drill, for example. It's just, I've got more than enough. So it's been going very well. So anyway, I'll show you, I'll do this last little bit and show you how it's going to look. Hopefully it looks good. Not too bad, not as level as I would like. Unfortunately, let's see if I can fix that. You know, using very basic old timber on the side of the road, so it's never going to be perfect, but just good enough. Even if it is a little bit uneven, it's okay. Not the end of the world. Shave a bit off the bottom there to get that to come up to where it needs to come up to, or I can screw this one in first. Hopefully it doesn't go back into the same hole. Oh no, that's too high. Actually no, that might be okay, that might work. Actually that's not bad, actually. That's not a bad look. I'll try that out. Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, that's not too bad. Not too bad. Free timber. I think that actually looks okay. I think that is not a bad look. So if you come in here and have a look, not too bad a gap here. I think having it slightly higher actually worked out better. I put in a little piece here. This is also off the original set of drawers, which I was able to repurpose to keep this up against the left because there are cables in there, as you can see. So, you know, honestly, I think this thing actually turned out pretty good. Still thinking about up here what I'm going to do, if I'm going to take out this divider and maybe go this way, but I mean, you know, there's a few things that fit pretty well, and so far they aren't falling out. I mean, I could do some things to make that so that things don't fall down when I'm driving, but I mean, I just drove yesterday for an hour and a half, and so far no issues. So yeah, not a bad find. It's very secure in there. Next thing I got to do is move that TV, because I feel very nervous every time I use the gas cooker. The TV's not going to last very long if I keep doing that. So that'll be going up over there. I'll try and do that later on today as well. So stay tuned.